Everyone, this is Andrew E. Guy. Welcome to another episode of the ILIRPODCAST Podcast. I'm listening. I'm ready. It is a podcast dedicated for those who are on the go. Whether you're traveling by land, air, or sea, this is me, Andrew E. Guy.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's a conversation that must be had today and not tomorrow. Welcome to another episode of I'm Listening, I'm Ready with your host, Andrew E. Guy. Let's talk about it.
You know, every week we bring the thunder, we bring the energy, but most importantly, we are bringing you the individuals that are disrupting our normalcy. And we're asking the question, what's possible? What else is possible once we get out of that comfort zone? Well, I have a very, very special guest all the way out there from Dallas, Texas, and she's here to give some information. She's here to enrich your life. She's here to help you to understand about the millionaire mindset and how can you create generational wealth. I know you're asking me, Andrew, who are you talking about? She's known as Dr. O, Dr. Omai KOFI, and I'm saying, oh my, Dr. O is in the house. Who is Dr. O? I'm going to give you a little bit of information. As you know, we always drip the bio. We don't give you all of it up front. But I just want to give you a little bit just to pique your curiosity so you can know exactly who we're talking with here. Dr. O is an investor, wealth manager, mastermind strategist, and founder and president of the Board of Literacy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to please help me welcome to the stage for the first time, Dr. O. Dr. O, welcome to the ILIRPODCAST. Say what's up to the people.
I'm going to need to take you with me everywhere I go so you can introduce me from now on. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. I mean, listen, you are, you don't know who, I know who I'm sitting with, but I don't think my guests know who I'm sitting with. This is Dr. O. I'm so pumped you are here today, Dr. O. I'm telling you, Andrew. I'm so pumped. So listen, what's new in your life? Really, what's new in your life? There's so many new things, but if you were to pick one, what's new in your life?
Well, I'm in this space and place and time where God has me in my uncomfort zone. So out of the comfort zone to the uncomfort zone, it is a powerful zone. I'm learning the difference between power and authority. And I'm taking authority, right, into this uncomfortable territory that I'm growing into. I'll be 43 in a couple of weeks, so I'm really excited about that as well. So I'm getting into a new age. I'm embarking on new territory. I'm not putting new wine in old wineskin. So I'm getting out of every single portion of comfort that I think that I'm in, that I can recognize. And I'm also asking my accountability partners to hold me accountable to that as well. So that's what's new.
Now, you know, you just started out, right? And you know, you're dropping bars, you're dropping gems. I mean, you just started and we haven't even gotten into the conversation yet. And you're coming out swinging like Mike Tyson. Oh my goodness! Listen,
it's your energy, Andrew. It's you. You're making me do this.
I don't know if I'm making you, but for me, people say, Andrew, what's the deal with the energy? I tell them I'm really pumped about people. And how could you not be pumped about people? You can have the money, you can have the house, you can have the cars, you can have everything, but without people, you have absolutely nothing. So I'm so glad to sit and break bread with you, because I believe that the bread that you're going to deliver to our audience today is something that's going to transform their life. And I want to jump right into it, because
let's do it.
My first question is simply this. When we talk about literacy, I mean, literal literacy, what does that mean to you? What does that mean? What does literacy mean to you?
I like to give a visual. So let's consider that we have a container.
Yes.
It's a liter. It's a liter of measure of container. It's a measurement of how much capacity could be put inside of this liter, right? So it's a measurement. And so when we think about literacy and we think about literal, we're talking about measurement. We're talking about containing information, what we call context, right? So for me, literacy is a literal container that you can consistently put stuff in. We also know with the container, you pour stuff out or you use it and then you have to refill it. So when we think about literacy, it's literally a position, a place, a measurement of content and information that you can receive, distribute, receive, distribute. So it's a literal infinite space and place and time where we can all meet up, get the information, use it, and do it again and again. That's how I see literacy.
So you're saying literacy from a literal perspective is that we are infinitely capable of regenerating ourselves again and again and again and leave enough left over for the nth generation. Is that what you're saying?
That is a fair assessment. We are talking about the levels and the principles, the power of abundance. So literacy just gives you more resource and tool and pushing towards abundance. So as much as you can receive, as much as you can distribute, as much as you can contain, so on and so forth. So it is a measurement of information that you can utilize to fulfill your life.
My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to me for the first time, this is Andrew E. Guy. Welcome to another episode of the ILIRPODCAST. I'm telling you, it is a podcast for those who are on the go. You have to be wanting to go somewhere. And you don't just want to go alone. The greatest part of life is who you take with you. I'm telling you right now. So I have Dr. O on the show, and she wants to take you to another place to help you to understand that there are levels to your capacity, and you have to keep on filling up, infilling, so you can empty out and pour into other people's life, so you can keep manifesting your greatness and your purpose in the earth while you are living. Because once you're dead, it's over, Dr. O. Now
it's over. It's over on that level anyway.
but you know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about
what are you excited about?
I'm excited about this conversation because it's been like building up to this week. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I can't just imagine sitting at the feet of Dr. O. And I know the content that you drop. I know the bars that you drop. I know the gems that you drop. And I'm sitting here. I am very humbled, by the way, that I'm actually in the same space with you, talking with you right now. And so what I want to let people understand is that one of the things that I am dealing with over the years of doing work-life enrichment coaching and consulting is this thing of competition when it comes to our people. And I think that we're competing against each other. I like to tell them, I said that there is no such thing as competition when we're looking at the kingdom, so to speak. I said, we don't compete in the kingdom. Kings and queens should not compete. However, because each joint supplieth, we should seek for ways to complete each other. Now, how are you using your platform, Dr. O, to complete other people? How are you doing that?
Well, first and foremost, I'm focused on completion of my mission and the things that God has placed inside of me, and making sure that I study to show myself approved, and that he who started a great work finishes that great work. So I'm a finisher by nature in my own life and realm. I just share that, show that rather, to others on how to do that, because I do believe that we don't compete, we complete. But I also believe that that is on an accountability standpoint, where each person is responsible and capable to do that on their own. I don't think that I can complete another person. I believe as a team, once I do my role and you're doing your role as a champion, we're going to win this championship because we're champions. Correct. Not because I'm picking up your load, especially in the Black community, and not to discount any other community. I'm only
Correct.
Speaking from experience that a lot of the times there's a sense of entitlement. There's a sense of, if one makes it, we all make it. Now, while that's true in theory and that's true in heart, I do not believe that that's true in action. I believe that everyone still has to pull their own weight where applicable, where capable. And so a lot of times people expect others to complete things on their behalf, where all they had to do was complete their portion. And when you complete your portion and you've done all that you can to stand, and you stand therefore with your loins girded, and you've done everything you can do at your capacity, your team should be there to push and catapult you at that level. So if I have to bring you up, cool. Send the elevator down, cool. If I have to carry you, cool. But you did all you could do, not expecting someone else to do it. So when we talk about completion, I do believe that that is an accountability measure that we can utilize so we can move the needle forward as a collective. And collective prudence is exactly what we're going to need in this next sets of levels, what we've always needed, what we should be utilizing. And so as I see you completing your stuff, Andrew, it's going to push me to complete what's in me too. So I should be the author and the finisher with God and everything that I have for me, but not expect somebody else to do that on my behalf. And there will be times where I'll be hollering for help, crying for help, or I can't even say anything on the inside. I know I need help. So I'm saying that even in that, I'm going to have to help you help me. So that's how I feel about that topic and that subject. And I agree 1,000,000,000,000% that we don't compete, we complete, but that completion and that work should start with each individual person, and we work interdependently and get this accomplished together.
Absolutely love it. Can I get a witness up in the house? Woo! I'm telling you, Dr. O stepped down and she is throwing gems and bars. I hope you're getting yours. I'm telling you right now. Dr. O, this conversation is so rich right now. It is so rich. And the reason why I say that it's rich, when I mentioned the completion of each other, as the Bible puts it, it said that, you know, we are basically each other's keepers. And when we talk about keepers, you know, you talked about it, is that level of accountability. And a lot of people says iron sharpens iron, but not every iron have the same density. Right? Because some iron, just like sandpaper, might be necessary to actually smooth off your rough edges. You see what I'm saying? And I love the part that you're saying that, you know, we're not there to really pick up and carry your weight, because this is basically, it's plain when you think about the parable, you know, of the talents, right? Yes. Some are a 5-talenter and some are a 2-talenter and some are just, well, I'm going to trust you with this one, and then I'm going to come back for the level of accountability that you're talking about, and I'm going to check to see what have you done with the gifts that was given to you. And that's the part. What did you do with your gift? I am so pumped right now. I'm already can sit on this seat. Can you hear what I'm saying up in here? Woo!
Yes.
Now, we're talking about, one of the things that you talked about is to help people unlearn poverty, right? Because poverty is a mindset. And what I like to say is not just a mindset, the cliche way of saying it, is what your mind is set on, like a dial, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
Can you please help us to put some light upon this? Unlearn poverty. Help us understand that statement.
When we think about the word learn, let's break that down real quick.
Please, please, let it happen.
The term earn is inside of it.
Yes.
The term ear is inside of it.
Correct.
The term learn is there as well. So we have learn, earn, and ear inside of one word. Mm-hmm. So in this, what we call compounding interest vehicle of learning, we can also compound interest negativity. When we think about the term poverty, for whatever it's for, the point of it is lack of abundance, literally just lack, whatever that may be. So when we're asking you to unlack abundance, that means that we are doing a separation. So if you ever had something removed, some body part or some type of illness or something removed, or you got the piece of cheese with the mold and you cut the mold off, what you're saying is, I understand there's damages to be had. I just don't want them to move forward into what we're going, where we're progressing. I don't want my genetic makeup tampered with. And we have a habit of being addicted to struggle culture. And the more addicted you are to struggle culture, the deeper your lack begins to take root and take constant root, not only in your life, but in the life of others, even around you, because your decision does affect other people. They're most two powerful words that we know or that we've practiced, that we hear about, that we've learned is I am. I like to also second that notion and raise the bar and say another aspect ratio is I decide. So when we talk about unlearn poverty, we're saying make a decision on abundance. That's it. We're not trying to compete. We're not trying to create a system of opposition. I don't want to be feast or famine, happy and sad. I don't want all that duality. All I'm saying when I say unlearn poverty is in the duality. You have one option and your option is abundance, period. There's no other option. You don't have any other choices. The fact that you think that you have time, you think you have resources, you think you have friends, you think you have family, you think you have support, you think you have it made, that alone is going to hinder you from the process and progress of knowing that you're abundant. Your abundance means all things, anything, infinite, right? High capacity, high frequency, high vibration. So when we say unlearn poverty, we're just saying, let go of your lack, every aspect of it. So they say study, hire for your weaknesses and work on your strengths. And I say, that's cool. You can do that. But if you could go ahead and work on those weaknesses and strengthen your weaknesses, how much better and how much more abundance would you have on the strengthening side? I'm not saying focus on it and lose focus on your strengths. I'm saying focus enough to understand that every level of weakness is hindering you from your optimal abundance. So when we unlearn poverty and get rid of lack, if Bob doesn't call, I'm not going to harass him because that's lack. If a friend of mine doesn't share one of my posts, I'm not thinking like, oh God, I don't have support. I'm thinking, no, there's strangers who will come and support me. Everywhere I see lack, I'm going to put abundance right on top of it. Every time I feel shame, pain, doubt, all those negative terms, I'm going to add joy, confidence, all these other things. Because confidence alone will fund your entire wealth portfolio. So when we're talking about unlearn,
could you say that part? Yes, please.
Confidence will fund your entire wealth portfolio.
Yes.
Right? So I have the mindset, the $2,739.73 per day mindset, right? Dr. O has to make $2,739.73 every single day. Why? Because I want to operate at a system of abundance. I am unlearning poverty by training myself to learn, earn, and hear or ear. I'm trying to make sure, and I'm doing the work to make sure that I'm an actionaire before I'm a millionaire. So regardless of what happens, I'm taking action on my millionarity.
Yes.
That means that I'm also, at the same time that I'm growing in my millionarity, I'm also getting further away from being negative in my bank account.
Exactly.
So it is an action step. To learn is to take action. To love is to take action. To be interested is to take action. That's why I'm sitting before you today, is because Andrew saw, heard, seen. He learned, he earned, and he heard, and he took action. And now here we are today. So that's what we mean by unlearn poverty. When you see something, you go after it. You don't let something stop you. You have to unlearn lack. And as you unlearn lack, not a focus, just a process, then you will progress into your wealth inch by inch, mile by mile, day by day, year by year, however you want to do it, decade by decade. That's your choice, AKA that's your decision, and you have decided. So it's really making a decision is what we're talking about.
I'm so excited. Ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're listening to me for the first time, I'm telling you, you listen to Andrew E. Guy and Dr. O, Omai KOFI, and she is throwing down. She's giving you some nuggets, some bars. I'm telling you, forget the bars, forget the nuggets. I'm telling you, she's giving you a lifeline to transform your life. And that's what it's about. You got to unlearn something. And what I understand from what you're saying, Dr. O, and plus my other experiences, Poverty is saying, poor me. You know, it's poor me. I'm going through. But when we get off of the focus on me and what I can do to transform myself so I can better serve a place in the marketplace. And I said this before, I said, most people get it twisted when they talk about the marketplace because they think the marketplace is just a business. The marketplace really is a people. The marketplace is the people that has needs, hurts, and frustrations. And our goal is to take our skill set and develop them so well that we can meet that need. But then we're not here to meet everybody else's need. Now, that question is leading me to asking you this. When you are finding your purpose, right? And your purpose is what God wants you to do, and passion is what we choose to do, right? So, how did you decide, okay, fine, this is purpose over passion versus want and need? How did you decide that? Because I know my listeners are trying to figure out, yes, we're talking about millionaire status and we're talking about an individual who is living the abundant life, but how can I live the abundant life? Help us understand that.
Well, we have a system in our platform, Wealth Hackathon, because I'm your favorite wealth hacker. So my job is to hack into your wealth with you, right? Yes. So I can never put in you what's not in you. I can't entice you by something that you're not attracted to, that you don't have a passion for. Right. So for me, I've never drank in my life. I've never smoked in my life. I'll be 43 soon and I'm not going to start. So I don't have an attraction to alcohol. So since I'm this age and I've gone this long without it, I don't feel the need for it. I don't have an attraction. I drive my friends around, make sure they get home safely, all of that stuff. So I participate on an offset level. Yeah. So when it comes to you deciding what is the difference between my passion and my purpose, or my calling and my anointing, or my destiny and my this or my that? What's the difference between a vision statement, mission statement? You know, here's all those business jargon, right? Correct. So honestly, I just marry stuff. I don't have time for all of that. I just marry it, right? So my passion is my purpose. My purpose is my passion. I marry it, and I've learned, Andrew, to consolidate, to merge. I have a great event coming up on February 22nd, 2022, right? 22222, right? So my whole thing was to merge all of that. I don't have time for this. We all start to understand that time begins to disintegrate the longer we stand in time. It's keeping on going with or without us, right? Correct. Time goes on. So in that process, you better start merging a few things and or joint venturing or partnering or marrying a few things. Not everything, not everything. Some stuff does stand alone. But when it comes to your passion, yes, it is put in you. You were built, you were engineered. I always tell people, wealth is your birthright. Wealth is your civil right, and it's already naturally in you. You may not be a Jeff Bezos 119 billionaire. You might not be a 1 billionaire or 2.5 billionaire like Rihanna. Maybe you are the best $60,000 maker in the world. Mm-hmm. Maybe you are the best. You can do more with $20,000 than people can do with 4 million. Maybe that's your role in lot in life, is to take little and make it much. Yes. Maybe, right? And so when we think about what you stated about purpose and passion, get them out the way, just marry them together. They're a perfect couple. They're the perfect power couple. They work together hand in hand. You can mix your feelings with your frequency as long as you manage. So you become a good manager, you can start to merge. Opposites attract all the time. It's a part in the Bible in Isaiah, where it states that the lamb and the lion will sleep together. Correct. Those are two opposites. Typically, a lion is going to eat a lamb or a gazelle. Mm-hmm. But there is a point where these opposites do merge and they catapult things to the further. They say opposites attract. What they're saying is magnetic ability and capability is a power none other. So you can actually take your purpose and your passion, and you don't need to start to differentiate what's the difference. As long as you're moving in alignment with the power and the authority and the dominion that is naturally within you, you are already moving in purpose. Your passion is just accelerating it. And on your passion side, your purpose is accelerating it. So these are team members, right? These are people that just, I mean, these two entities are there to push you forward in every kind of way. So that's what I would say to that, Andrew. And honestly, to be quite honest with you, you might need to do some self-assessments, which I love to do, which catapult your wealth and your abundant mindset. You may need to sit and journal. You may need to vlog or blog or start your own podcast or whatever. Maybe you need to discover that. But to be quite honest with you, just talk to the successful people. Talk to those who have failed and tried and lessened. We don't fail, we lessen. Talk to them. They'll tell you, get that out the way. Go ahead and start merging things where applicable as much as possible and put all that stuff together so you can get where you need to go.
Listen, that is so right on. You know, that is like 1,000,000,000% correct. And I would say correct. And the reason why that is because the Bible said all things work together. Do you not hear what I'm saying? All things are working together for our good. But we're trying to compartmentalize things to make them different. Oh, this doesn't go with that. Everything is working together for our good. And when I talk to people that said, oh, when the statement goes out, well, you know, purpose is what your life assignment and what God wants you to do. And then passion is what you decide to do. Passion is how much fuel, how much gumption, how much tenacity, how much commitment, how much consistency you put behind purpose. And they work well together. They are complementary of each other. Because if I'm excited about the things that God wants me to do you hear what I'm saying? That is passion. I'm doing this passionately. Come on, Dr. O, can you just see the guy with the 5 talent just being pumped and going out there and making business happening until he doubled his 5? The guy with 2 saying that, listen, man, I only got 2. I didn't got 5. I'm going to go all out on this 2. When I finish with this 2, I'm going to double this. I'm going to turn this into 4. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Yes, you want to compartmentalize passion and purpose. Purpose is the big picture. Passion is just a pixel that, listen to me. I'm going to calm down. Let me calm down.
Let it flow. Let them have it. Let them have it.
Listen, people. Stop doing these things. Stop. It's just like, you know, we're trying to separate each other. And I said, oh, well, all the time. I tell people, yes, you know, you're like the fingerprint here. Everyone is an individual, but you couldn't make a fist if all the fingers don't come together and clinch so we can pack a punch and impact the world. Everything should be working together. Dr. O, I'm so excited about today. I'm working on this book. It's actually almost finished. It's called Win Where You Are, right? And I'm excited about the book because a lot of people are waiting to become. They are waiting to become. And they just need to sit around an individual like you for just a couple of seconds, right? So you can breathe some life into them. And so what would you tell people who are waiting to become? They're waiting to get the 5 talent when they only were trusted with 1 or 2. What do you tell these people, Dr. O? Please.
Life is going to pass you by, and you're accountable for every single measure of time that you were given, that you were distributed. And you are responsible and accountable for every aspect of your life, including the bad stuff. And a lot of people don't want to hear that because the victim mindset or the victim mentality sets in when you're victimized, right? So you might truly have a victimizing situation occur in your life, and you feel that thing like nobody other. We didn't experience it, you experienced it, and we can't tell you how to feel, right? However, you also were given an antidote to every single disease, every single curse, every single negative thing. Every opposition comes with an antidote. You have to be willing to accept, receive, believe, and utilize, take action on an antidote. So if a problem presents itself, you already know the solution. A tool that I like to give my students, adults or children, is in the test, the answer is always in the question. If that answer is not somewhere in that question, They're trying to trick you. Get up from the table. You have the right to remove yourself from the table. But I will guarantee you, typically 99% of the time, that the answer is inside of the question. Even where there's a lie present, it has to pull from the truth. Even when there's a lie present, it has to pull from the truth. So when we think about the aspect of you moving forward, and you can't really see your way through, and it is blurry, or I only have one, or I have none. How about somebody stole my one talent? I don't have anything, Dr. O. And you come from absolutely nothing. As they say, you got it out the mud. You have mud. And one assessment that I do with anybody, billionaire, millionaire, thousandaire, zeroaire, negative air, the one thing that I always do is you start with what you do have. The moment that you pick what you have,
Moses.
You can move forward just a little bit better. It may not be as much as the Joneses, but it's as much for you for that moment. And so in that process, start with what you have. And if you are not willing to appreciate what you have will be taken away from you. So just be ready for that. So instead of trying to smoosh you and amuse you and motivate you and inspire you and captivate you and all this energy going away from people like Andrew and myself or whoever else that you're listening to, it's on you. And I just push back on all of that energy, and I push that energy right back to that individual. What do you have? If you have 2 fingers on your hand, you have 2 fingers. Go there, start there. So start with what you have. Stop looking at what you don't have. Speak out over your own life. Don't try to always listen for sound for other people. Go within, even if it's get quiet, turn off social media, put your phone down, get away from friends and family, kids and all, dogs and all. And you have to sit down just to have no thoughts come through your head. Start there. If you're ready to rock and roll, you want to mimic someone else, AKA take after someone else, start there. But if you're not going to get started, you're going to get bypassed, and that's on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you still listening? Remember, it's the ILIRPODCAST. Are you listening? I am listening, and I am ready. That's what we're talking about. Those who have ears will hear, all right? But you can't just sit there and be a student forever. Listen, there's only a certain amount of time when you're drinking milk. After a while, you got to become the teacher of the word. You hear what I'm saying? And so we're giving you the word today. We're giving you the game today. We're helping you to understand this conversation. It is so poignant what we're talking about right now. You got to win where you are. Are you a Moses? Do you have a rod in your hand? Do you have a stick in your hand? Whatever it is, why don't you just stretch it out over your life and part the seas, the Red Seas that seem to be hindering you? The Red Sea is not in your way. You are in your way. Stretch that rod out. What's in your hand? And get across that thing. Stand and be still and see who is working in you, because greater is he that's in you than he that is standing at the riverbank. Come on, somebody. I'm getting too excited right now. Andrew, calm down. Let me give you a little bit more about who we're talking with. You're talking with, you're listening with, your conversation with Dr. O. I'm talking Omai KOFI. That's the only way to say your name. Omai KOFI. I'm telling you. So
you are funny.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, I'm excited. And I tell people that this show, I prayed about this show for several years, Dr. O, and I didn't want to do a podcast because everyone was doing it. I said, what am I going to talk about? And I'm sitting there, this thing came to me at 4 o'clock in the morning, a.m. that is, right? It says, I'm listening, I'm ready. And it went back to Eli and Samuel. You remember when the Lord spoke? And then he said, and then Eli said, okay, if I go, and Samuel got up and said, okay, did you call me? He said, no, I didn't call you. Go back to sleep, right? Of course, I went back to sleep. And then the word came back again, ILIR. Oh, what? What does that mean? Okay, so Samuel went back to Eli and said, okay, Eli, okay, fine, did you call me? He said, okay, if you go back and you hear, he said, here I am, right? So I am listening, I am ready. That's how ILIRPODCAST came together. And the goal of it is to showcase God's greatness in the form of humanity, greatest creation. So I'm excited. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you a little bit about the hackathon, the first generation millionaire and the community economic opportunity. She is the CEO since 2011, she has been putting a disadvantaged members of the Black community in front. I didn't say behind, I didn't say beside, in front of African American billionaires and advancement for people of color. In 2017, Women's Bureau, United States Department of Labor, Woman Trailblazer in Labor and Business Honoree. Who? Dr. Omai KOFI. I want you to go look her up. If just in case you missed some of the conversation because you were listening and you're ready, I need you to run, skip, hop, jump, fly over there and get over there to the Wealth Hackathon. I'm going to spell it out for you just in case you weren't listening and you know you're ready. It is WEALTHHACKATHON.com. There's more information coming up. But Dr. O, I'm telling you, I'm excited. I got a few questions I wanted to kind of get out, but I wanted to get the people to understand because this is not just an interview. We're showcasing God's greatest creation in the earth and in the form of Dr. Omai KOFI. Dr. Omai, I want to ask you this question here. When did you fail and recognize that you failed? And what did you do to pick yourself up? What did you do?
Well, I fail just about every day, Andrew, because I do it on purpose. I fail fast so I can get that over with and move forward. So I fail every day. I mean, I'll take a risk in the stock market and options trading, and I'll fail on purpose, literally, like where I'll stay in a trade too long, knowing it's going to tank my stock. I test myself over and over. I failed in certain relationships where I allowed them to go through toxic cycles for a little too long. And that failure is more over the allowance and the tolerance of putting up with things that I know that I'm not supposed to, or thinking that I have to help everybody. There's a thing called survivor's remorse. I had wealth remorse where I was like, oh Lord, I made it. What about us going back, getting all the other people that didn't make it, and feeling guilty about my abundance. And it's like, I had a lot of people wealth shaming me, or favor rather, or anointing shaming me. And so I felt that moving forward in my anointing and my calling and my purpose, to go back and try to show them I can be like you guys. I'm normal too. I can, lower myself. I can fit in. I can, create a sense of humility. But God is not asking us for us to be humble in a foolish way. It's more over an awareness proponent, and being aware is extremely powerful. So I fail a lot, because one thing that I love about Robert Kiyosaki and what he teaches me and all of us, if you listen, is mistakes and bumping your head or bumps in the road or what we call hindrances or whatever, setbacks to come back. They literally springboard you way past where you dropped from. So I play the markets. I'm a day trader, a swing trader, a technical trader. I'm a scalp trader. I'm a trader, right? And so what happens in the stock market is that it'll go up. And when it goes up, you better believe it's coming down. I make money whether it goes up or down. I make money when stock is falling. I make money when stock is rising, because I've understood and I understand the way and the currency of the way things flow. That same flow in EKG that we see in the stock market is the same flow, the ebb and flow that we sense in our lives. So when it comes to failures, when you convert them into energy and you utilize them in the proper way, they really are there for your advancement. I'm not telling you to go out there and bump your head and, make sure you fail every day. I'm saying that's what I chose to do to get that stuff over with. So I am, in a sense, looking for challenges so I can be a challenger. And I'm looking for that. I run forward. It's called Wang Chung. And her style of fighting, she's a small woman. And since she's so small, she had to make impact punches very quickly against a bigger opponent. And so what she would do is she would move forward. So as you're punching forward, she's coming towards the punch. She's not backing, no backing down, right? We do not back down. We do not move backwards. We're constantly moving forward, and we're doing quick movements that are going to make a deep, hard impact, because things are bigger than us, right? Life is bigger than us. We have a Goliath in front of us just about every single moment that we're awake. And so what do? You take a slingshot and 5 rocks and you hit that thing in the middle of the head. And then when you get done, you chop the head off on top of it. Right. So that's what I consider failure, right? Where somebody else did not take out this giant. All these other people could have taken out this giant. And here comes little old 16-year-old David saying, what's wrong with y'all? Don't y'all see this is an uncircumcised situation? Correct. So I challenge myself every day and I get it over with so that way I can move forward.
My goodness. You know, Dr. O, with a question like that, with a summarization like that, I'm telling you, the next question that I got to ask you is, you know, you mentioned a word, but you hyphenated it. I love the way you did that. You said response able. I have a tendency of doing that, where people said it's valuable. I don't know, it's value that's able. Value with an ability, and the able is an ability to do something, right? We all have this value. And one of the things that I can test most speakers and leaders about when they say, oh, I'm coming to add value, because when I'm coming to your conference to speak, Andrew would like you to come and add some value. Yes, I'm a speaker. No, I said, I cannot add any value to your conference that is not already there. However, value is extrapolated from a source that knows what it is. Just like the tea bag, I know already got the flavor. I got to put it in the right environment, in the water, in the hot water, and then that tea, it just comes out of the bag. I come with a value. And so the value is what is called extrapolated. So I want to help everyone that's watching right now. You have a value. You are value enabled. And you have to be in the right environment so that people can extract value. Stop talking about your adding value. You will never add value to anyone on planet Earth. You come with it. And your goal is to allow yourself to be in that hot water as a tea bag. So what God has put inside of you can be extrapolated and be used to serve those who are hungry, whether in jail, on the street, begging. When did you see me doing that, Jesus? Yeah. Every time you do that, you are doing what you're supposed to do and serving you again. All right. I got one last question that I want to ask you, and I'm very curious about this. Most people are curious about this. And what I teach people is not about work-life balance. It is no such thing as work-life balance. It's work-life enrichment, right? How do you differentiate between work, life, and leisure? Work, life, and leisure. And then, because I know that you're a smart individual, I want you to kind of tie that into a bow and help us understand how does the spiritual aspect of your compass allows you to keep all of that in perspective? I know it's a complex question, but you're good for it. Tell us, please, go, please. Feed us.
Absolutely. So, so when we talk about work, leisure, we're talking about like making sure we're juggling, right? So we're just talking about the juggle effect. And so in that process, I don't mess with all of that stuff. Everything is freedom. That's it. I have one baseline of freedom. If you want to use work, I got to work for 8 hours. I got to have fun for 4 hours. I got to do this for, if you want to do that, cool. What I do, 100% freedom. I'm up at 4:99 in the morning. That means 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I work hard. 9 a.m. for the rest of the day, I do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it, period. Oprah Winfrey did an interview. I forget exactly which article it was. We'll just say probably in her own magazine, but it's out there, where she did an interview and she said, I'm at the level that I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, just period. That's just it for me. So instead of trying to incorporate leisure, first of all, it's mandatory, right? Freedom, leisure time, relaxation, that's mandatory. No different than making sure you handle your business to take care of your financial responsibilities and obligations. So what I've done is just said, what is the foundational principle? I'm always, reverse engineering. What is the end in mind? Well, the end is that I be free to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. That's the end goal. So I just do that. That's it. I'm like Stuart Wilde. Like, if you ever research Stuart Wilde, he's like, why do people go on doing stuff that they don't want to do? Why are you doing that? So I just do whatever I want to do. It happens to work out. The godfather of economics, Adam Smith, has a saying called the invisible hand. And when you study the invisible hand, it just means that whatever I'm doing for me is obviously helping other people. So keep doing that. So in that, I don't separate all that stuff. I incorporate all of that stuff. I'm big on conversion. I'm huge on mergers and putting things together and making sure there's a unity. I'm huge on that. So that's what I do. Freedom. Anything that brings me more freedom. That's what I do every day, all day. I don't care what it is. Even now, I happen to be free when I was requested, and I'm here, and this is moving into another freedom. Every freedom is another freedom for Dr. O. Now, when we think about how to tie that into, I guess you can say like a forward movement to serve other people, I honestly have to be a little selfish here. And normally I wouldn't be, because we're taught to be selfless, but I literally take care of myself. You can watch me, or you can do what I'm doing, or you can learn as I speak, as I show, or you can just do nothing. It's up to you. But I've learned not to give my oil to other people that have chosen to not use their oil as well. So you're not going to take it from me, right? I've given too much, and I've given so much access to where I've stifled my own growth and hindered myself. And I cannot blame anyone else for those hindrances. So I incorporate that into everything that I do, everything that I am. And I also teach my children and people around me to do the same exact thing. What is your highest frequency, your highest point of reference for the day? Focus on that like your life depends on it, because it does. So that's pretty much how I handle that.
Wow. Hey, listen to me. We bring this show to you every week. You know this. My favorite actor, you say, and you know this, man. You know this. Understand the words that are coming out my mouth. All right. And let me tell you something, guys. I know that Dr. O said, she's giving this information, but just like the scripture said, there are 5 wise and there are 5 foolish, right? Don't just sit there hoping for somebody to come and fill up your lamp and hope your wick is checked. All right. That's your job. You are the lamp. You are the wick. You got to make sure the oil of the Holy Spirit is flowing in you so you can stay lit, literally, so that you're not going to be hidden underneath a bushel. You're going to be placed on a mountain, on the hill, so you can give light to everyone else. Because she said, while she has her freedom, I'm telling you right now, other will be free because of your freedom. Absolutely love it, Dr. O. Dr. O, we come to the time of a show when we talk about think, fire, shoot. I give you 4 questions. You get 15 seconds. It's 1 minute, and you answer to the best of your ability, right? I got the timer right here, and it's called think, fire, and shoot. So how we do this, basically, you will say who you are. My name is Dr. O, and then you say what you do, and I am here on the Think, Fire, Shoot, the ILIRPODCAST show, and I'm ready to rock and roll, all right? And then after, the clock starts, and it's hot seat for Dr. O. Did you hear what I'm saying? We're ready to rock and roll. All right, Dr. O. So I'm going to put you on the main screen, and you're going to say your thing and do your thing. Ready, go.
Hi, I'm Dr. O. I'm your favorite wealth hacker. I'm a wealth strategist and an investor based in Dallas, Texas. I am here invited by my guy, Andrew. And I'm here and I'm ready, and I've been ready to distribute wealth informations that you can use for generations to come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that is Dr. O. We're ready to rock and roll and think, fire, shoot on the ILIRPODCAST. Question number 1, we got the phone here, we got the clock ready to rock and roll, and the clock is set to go. So the question is simply this: management versus leadership. Management versus leadership. Which of these 2 would you say is most important? What say she? Go.
Management.
That's like 0.2 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, she says management. You want to elaborate a little bit on why management? You already beat the timer, you got it. But why management? Because
well, for the management side of things, you can receive anything. You're receiving all day long. And if you don't manage it, you're going to lose it, right? And we work on resource management, time management. You know, there's a lot of things that you're given, a lot of value add points that you're given in your life. And when you don't manage it properly, whether it's a relationship, time, energy, or whatever, then you're going to lose. And we do not want that feeling of losses and guilt and shame and doubts and what we call paranoia and all of that. Paranoia just comes from the fact that you didn't manage something, and now you're paranoid about everything you didn't manage. And anxiety comes from not being able or feeling like you're not able. So we just get rid of that. And I feel like management can take you much further, whether you lead someone or you don't. As long as you can manage, I just feel like you will be able to keep your abundance, because having abundance is one thing, but keeping it and maintaining it, especially for the generations to come, is important.
This is powerful. I have the same mindset, and I'm so excited that you said that, because I've been telling people they spend billions of dollars on all these leadership conferences, and I said, listen, it's management you need. Oh, I'm so excited. Question number 2, Doctor.
I'm listening. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I heard that. All right. Question number 2. So in my book that's coming up, it's called Create Your Greatest Impact. And I took a subsection out of this, and I'm creating an ebook called Win Where You Are, right? And the question that I asked people, I said, on the highway of life, most people focus on the rear view mirror. But on the highway of living, we should focus on the windshield ahead. What says she, Dr. Ho? Go.
Same. I agree. I mean, when you're looking forward, you already are aware. You should be aware of what's behind you because you were just there, right? That's not going to change so much as what's in front of you is going to consistently keep your attention. And so when we think about focus, we think about your attention span, we think about what's to come. You are present in your past, you are present in your present, and you are present in your future. So when you make a decision to be future forward or forward facing, knowing what's going on in the background, you literally are passing 3 levels of time. So now you've triple maximized just by looking forward, you tripled your journey. If you're looking back, you're only looking back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was 50.28 seconds. So we're going to kind of subtract and then add that to her next visit. So therefore, she's well within time. She's well within time. Well within time.
Help me. Help me.
No, sir. You are helping people. Do you hear what I'm saying? All right, Dr. O. Question number 3. Question number 3. Is it life or is it living that we should be most concerned with? What is our primary responsibility as gift bearers? Should it be the life or should it be the living aspect? Ready, go.
I would say on a interim, life itself. And I say that because a lot of livers, they get entrapped by the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs, the duality of everything. So for me, life itself, with or without you, right, is a powerful place or environment for you to be able to do whatever you want to do. Living is amazing, it's worth it, I get it. But life in and of itself is so valuable. It creates respect. It creates so many other things. It's a source to me. So I feel like life is more, abundant. I came that you have life and life more abundant, not living. So
I heard that. I heard that. All right. Oh, this is great, Dr. O. You're investing a lot of time here. I'm so excited. I'm going to be on your show one of these days. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So here we go. Last question. Absolutely last question. So, Dr. O, if you had an opportunity to impart some level of wisdom. Not that you haven't done that this evening. You have dropped more than enough. All right. You have dropped more than manna. I hope that they're eating. And so if you had that opportunity to drop some wisdom in someone's life and you had only 5 seconds to do so, what would it be? Go.
Decide. Decide. Just decide.
You had the clock, you did it, you right on time, but I know, Dr. O, it's loaded. It's loaded. Why would decide be the thing?
In that decision-making process, you're getting to know yourself. And a lot of people have that opportunity, but they take on so many external things. They take on so many loads from parents and aunties and uncles and society and social media that sometimes they're not able to make a decision for them. They're making decisions for children, for school, for leadership, for clout, for this, for that. And when you decide, it really is a time where you get to be the great I am, right? So there's the great I am, God. But then you get to operate out of the I am. I am a decision. You are someone's decision, literally, right? Somebody decided, and then here you are. So to get back to that place, tap into home base, if you will, there's nothing like it. So I just feel like decide. Everything's going to work out. I tell people you're going to hit just because it's you. Just because it's you, you're going to hit. Even when you do not think that it is working out in your favor, it is working out. Andrew said it best, all things. So I just say decide. No different than Nike said, just do it. No different than someone could throw out any quote. My quote, and the only thing is one word, decide.
Decide.
Just it.
Don't just do it, live it. Live it. Live it.
Decide.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been full. I'm telling you, remember, she said to fill up and empty out. Bruce Lee said, when you come, be empty, my friend. Be like water. Flow, crash, do whatever you got to do. And I felt like the podcast, the ILIRP podcast community, I'm telling you, I know you're going to take action because we do this every week. But I want you to go out there. I want you to go and follow. I want you to go run, hop, skip, jump, whatever you got to do, fly over, and I want you to go check out Dr. O. I want to give you these websites again. We have been dropping them throughout the show to make sure you never, ever forget. I want you to run over there, and I want you to get to the board of literacy.org. The board. And because I come from a teaching background, I'm going to spell this out for you. So it's THEBOARDOFLITERACY.org. You can't say I didn't give it to you. I want you to get over there and I want you to find out more information on how you can get connected with this gem, one of God's greatest creation. I'm only blessed because I'm here and I'm displaying that right now. If you want to follow Dr. O, I'm telling you right now, you need to get over there to the Instagram and you need to look her up as Dr. Omai KOFI. That's the only way to say her name. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it has been an amazing conversation. Dr. O, listen, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to give you the last word. And I want you to just drop whatever you want to drop. If you have a program or something that you want to talk about, I just leave the people in a state of discomfort so they will not go back to what they used to be.
We do not want you going back. We don't. So thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in to the ILIRP podcast. It has been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity because we are here. I am listening. I am ready. And when you are listening, you do get more ready, right? Readiness is amazing. So I definitely want to leave you with the opportunity to serve yourself, to not be self-serving in a sense of selfishness, but to serve yourself, serve your purpose in the sense of you are listening. So you should be ready, right? And in that readiness, you can take action. So I'm so excited for you that you tuned in tonight and that you'll continue to tune in. You're going to share the ILIRP podcast with other people. You're going to actually take action on the things that you have inside of you already. You're going to go by what you have. You're going to use those haves to create other haves. And you're going to keep doing that over and over as you accomplish your goals. I speak a word of freedom to everyone who's listening. My anointing is of wealth. So I also speak wealth over your life in every single area. However, I do unapologetically speak a word of wealth over your finances and your economics. You will have a minimum of $250,000 cash money available at all times, so you can make moves the way that you are supposed to. You will also have a team of people surrounding you. If it's just one other person, or if it's you, your body, your soul, and your spirit, you will have a team of people that will allow themselves to join forces with you at their greatest level, at their champion level, and you all will make moves that way. And last but not least, you will take everything that God has distributed to you, and you will distribute it to others so that you may receive 100-fold of everything that you've sent out. You will recover all. You will recover all. Whoever's listening right now, you think you lost it, you're going to recover it all. What you do with it this time is going to be on you, and you will be accountable. We thank you. We love you. We honor you. And we thank you for tuning in tonight. The ILIRPODCAST podcast. Don't get it twisted. And Andrew, oh my goodness, the energy that Andrew provides is mandatory. I see his anointing like, wow, and I love it. Thank you, Andrew, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I'm listening. I'm ready to do.
We don't want to leave, right? We just want to stay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm excited. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our time.